Just going off what people were commenting on my previous video from 2 weeks ago. This one's gonna upset a few people, but oh well, at the end of the day, it's just a car and my car, so I get to decide what happens to it. So the day has come. The VN is officially for sale. I've got it out here right now. I'm gonna bust out a video about it just so I can tell everyone what it has in one video, so you don't have to revert back to the 50 other videos I've done in this car. Take some nice photos, and it's going up for sale either this weekend or next week during the week at some point. So here she is. So I am going to do the quickest rundown of everything I can think of that this car has. Third owner, previous owner from me did the LS swap. Before that, it was a very clean country car, 6-cylinder automatic from factory. God damn, I picked a shit place and time to do this video because, oh my God, it's hot. And with my pasty white skin, just like the paint on this thing, I'm copping it out here, so I got to go as quick as possible. So I bought it with the LS in it already. It had a cam and a few other bits and pieces, rebuilt motor, which turned out it kind of was but wasn't. I ended up spinning a bearing in the motor. It's the same motor, which is a VX SS 5.7, so LS1. I did a full rebuild on this motor, so aftermarket cast piston because the bore was a bit stock rod, stock crank, stock block, ring bearing job with obviously a new piston, as I said, full gasket kit, everything genuine GM where I could get it. Wellings oil pump. It's got the brace for the oil pickup. It's got oil barbell in the block, sump, girdle, whatever you want to call it, that's in there with all the trapdoors so that I don't spin a bearing again. In the sump. Top end, it has some CNC ported heads from Blackwell, Crow valve springs, retainers, collets. It's got GM Motorsport pushrods. It's got a VCM 710 camshaft. It's got a VCM OTR, which makes the bay look absolutely amazing. Aeroflow catch can. I bought brand new GM coil pack. It's got billet coil brackets, Aeroflow rails, Aeroflow catch can, new starter. It's got an underdrive kit from VCM. It's got a left-hand starter swap, alloy radiator. Oh, goddamn, that's hot. Trans cooler in the front, which I'll get to that stuff in a sec. VT booster master, Aeroflow dipsticks, got fuel reg, dash fittings on the rocker covers, new water pump, Pacemaker extractors, which goes through to a twin 3-inch exhaust, which then merges into a single 3.5 over the diff and out the back, so full length with a single muffler. Sounds absolutely amazing. So your pretty much generic LS stuff that you would do in any LS powered car. Makes really good power, 290 kilowatt, an Allsparks dyno through the auto. It's got a 3800 converter, dominator, ARP bolts like throughout. I'm talking header bolts, cam retainer bolts, twin row timing chain kit with ARP bolts there, ARP head stud, genuine GM head gaskets even. It's got a turbo 350, which is rebuilt with a full manual valve body, you know, an aftermarket cross member, mount, braided lines, trans cooler, tail shaft. Goes back to a stock diff, so stock length. It's got 3 9s in it, stock brakes on the back. It's got a mini spool center, VT brakes in the front, king springs all round. I did Petter's shocks in the rear. I'm pretty sure they're Monroes in the front. Done a whole heap of bushes. All under the car is all painted, so underneath this car is really nice, just dusty because I actually drive this thing. I did brand new front LCAs with bushes, ball joints. It's got braided lines in the front. It's got stock LCAs in the back, but with the big bracing thing because they're known to sort of fold forward when you launch these things. Drive line, that is it, and it's like done, ready to go. This car, you literally turn the key and off you go. It's perfect. Get in it, drive it, no dramas. I also did, you will notice there's no power steering reservoir or pump because this has an Astra electric power steering pump, which you can see through there with a Lowe's Fab mount holding it up in there. This thing still has guard liners. Body wise, really good body. All I painted was boot and bonnet. I did underneath the bonnet, so that's all beautiful under here, and got this stuff all re-zinced, so that's all brand new. New washer and overflow bottle, factory color. I'm gonna give this car like a 7.5-ish out of 10, like body wise. Like, you know, there's like a, I guess, a little dent there, and you know, etc. It's a 30-year-old. Has been painted at some point, done pretty decent. Like, you could probably think that it was original paint. There's like a chip there, all that little shit. I did a brand new windscreen because I managed to crack the windscreen when the hinges let go. But body wise, 100% factory, but with a lot of new stuff. So I did all new badges. I got this repainted, new reproduction rear bumper with the new pinstripe. Same on the front, new grille painted, new headlights, new indicators, new front bumper with the pinstripe. All these rubbers I bought brand new. Wheel and tire, you got a 15x7 interceptor on the back with a 235/60 and unrolled guards, which is really good, and they just skim in there. On big bumps, I'll be honest, you do get a little bit of a rub. Fronts, we've got 15x4.5 interceptors with the 5 litre caps all round and a 165/80 15 on the front. Interior wise, if you've been on this channel for a while, you'll remember this car came with, I believe they were VT Coulsons with the blue insert, which did not fit the car. They looked absolutely disgusting. I literally pulled them out the next day after I bought this car. So all factory door trims in good nick. I did these new old stock. Like, I had a HSV badge there, put the exec one back in. Good roof lining. Factory exec seat in really good nick. Stealth Pro ratchet shifter with a modified reverse lockout to sit in the gate, so there's no cut console or anything. Factory head unit, an absolutely mint condition factory exec steering wheel with like all the grain in it. Like, this has no wear on it whatsoever. Automated shift light with a digital tacho because it's a POV spec exec with no tacho whatsoever. I did some mats. I did the seat belt buckle buttons. Like, rear quarter trims are in good nick. It had tint, which I ripped off. I absolutely hate that shit. Rear Venetian. But other than that, in here, it is completely stock. Apart from the shifter and the shift light, you would not think anything was going on with this car. Even boot wise, like, super clean. Factory carpet, spare wheel with the cover. It's still got the jack. I repainted all the black in here, so it's all nice. I really regret not getting under the boot painted when I got the top painted, but anyway. Oh, and I forgot. The only mod outside, VP Calais, full set of window molds, which, look, they look all right. I would rather the standard ones, and the car will come with a full set of grey factory exec molds in really good nick. I just never got around to putting them on. Look at this guy. Backup. From memory, an 85 litre long range tank. I hate when people call these drop tanks. I'll be honest, that is super annoying having the big tanks in these Commodores because you can't get a jack under the diff. You got to go from the side or put the car on the ramps or whatever. Bit of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Apart from that, she looks stock inside and outside with a good 350 or so horsepower under the bonnet. Goes really good. Auto shifts nice and hard. Big converter sounds grouse. But yeah, that is her. I'm sure I've forgotten a couple of things, but I'm sure I'm gonna get a million stupid questions regardless. Like, along the way, obviously I had front and rear bars off, but I clean like crazy. Whenever I pull something off this car, it gets cleaned within an inch of its life. If it needs repainting, I repaint it and put it back on. So even when you pull bumpers off, it is absolutely immaculate under there. Like, all door jams, like everything I've gone over in this car. I've had the carpet out, steam cleaned all the interior. Like, door jams are really nice. So whoever gets this thing is getting a very, very well sorted, sort of just jump in and drive car. Oh, one of the big kickers with this car that actually I was absolutely wrapped with when I went to look at it. I know it doesn't really matter to most people, and you're gonna say, who gives a shit? It's got an LS swap in it. We have Holden first aid kit. Full service history in the original pouch from new. So in the book it has history up to like mid, where's it go up to? 120,000 Ks in 1998, and then the old bloke that had this then started this logbook, which goes from where it finished in the book, starts in this book and goes all the way to 299, and that's when I got the car. It now has 309, so I've done, the last owner and me have done 10,000 Ks in this car. But even though it has an LS in it, and it doesn't matter, I continued with the service history. So I got it here, 299, and then I continued with everything I've done. Oil changes, all that stuff. So again, I know that won't matter to most people because it's got a different engine in it, but I just wanted to keep the history going. So it has full history from brand new. All this paperwork, like I'm talking the book for the head unit, all this random RACV stuff, battery card, all that sort of thing. And I have every single part, no matter what it is, whether it was a tiny clip, I have the receipt for that I have bought for this car. I have a nice big stack of paperwork to go with it. That's the sort of thing I'm into. It's the sort of stuff I look for when I buy a car. So I like to keep it going, and then it's good when you try and sell the car like I'm doing right now. Anyway, that's the quickest rundown I can think of. We'll go for a bit of a drive, hear this thing, see how it drives, see how it goes, and that's gonna be this video. God, I'm talking that fast, I'm overheating here. I feel I'm gonna pass out. I need an icy pole. So yeah, it sounds pretty good. So you can hear, super quiet engine, as you'd expect from something that's only done maybe a couple of 1,000 kilometers since I got it rebuilt. I'm gonna quickly bust out a couple of nice photos for my for sale ad, maybe a TikTok, then we'll go for a drive. Love how this car sounds. It sounds perfect. If you're ever doing an LS car, do this exact exhaust. You can't beat it. And this car still does have all the heater stuff, so if you just connect the 2 hoses to the heater box, heater all works, all this turns on, etc, etc. No aircon though. I pulled condenser out, so that's all gone. If you want to do aircon, that's up to you. Now 290 kilowatt is definitely not some insane amount of power, but surprisingly these things are pretty light, and this one is super torquey down low, like really fries tires instantly off the pedal. And with 70 less kilowatts, this car ran a mid 12-second pass at like 113, 14 mile an hour or something like that, with the stuffed engine with a 4L60. I would put money on it, this car will absolutely 1,000,000% do an 11-second pass now in its current form. Also forgot to mention, because I just heard it turn on, it's got the big boy, I think it's the 16-inch 3000 CFM or whatever it is, spell fan as well. So even on a day like today, today's 30 degrees, doesn't move past like a third, just under half around there. Never had an overheating issue with this car. Doesn't leak a drop of oil, thing is absolutely dry, which is a rare occurrence for an LS. If there's any LS owners watching this. There goes, really good. Super torquey. The only bad thing is, I reckon this car needs either 345s or 37s, because it just has no top end. And revs sit a little bit high on the freeway, like not bad, it's like 3,200 or something. I suppose it's a fair bit for an LS, but, and I suppose that's why it fries tyres so easily. So, look, not the grouse for taking off, torque, acceleration, but not the best for freeway fuel economy, which I'm sure no one gives a shit about, but I reckon a 3.7 would be absolutely perfect, just to get it down that little bit more. I will be honest, I am 1,000,000% gonna really miss this car. I never actually even wanted a VN. I actually wanted a VL, which I also have now. But at the time when I was looking at VLs, I didn't have much money, and they were sort of on the rise. And for the money they were going for at the time, which was cheaper than what I paid for one now anyway, stupidly, but anyway, I just couldn't afford it. So I ended up with the VN, because that to me was sort of the next best thing. You just go down a model, which was cheaper. So that's how I ended up with this car in the first place. I honestly didn't even really want it. I just thought it was cool. I had the LS swap already, so I got it and then sort of fell in love with it. I'll be honest, I've always said, I don't care about this car, I don't even really like it, but I do love it, because I managed to turn it from a bit of a, I'll be honest, it was a bit of a shitbox when I got it. It was very basic, lots of shitty work done on it. and I've got it now to a level where it's a really, really nice car. I get in and drive, nothing you have to worry about. So I originally wanted to keep racing this car, but I've got a family now and other things to worry about, where I sort of gave up on that. And it's actually a really mad cruiser. I had my 10-month-old in the back, go to car meets. It's on that borderline where it's not too loud, like it's not really cop bait, like the car isn't slammed. It's got a normal size, 15-inch wheel with hubcaps. Mud flaps would really top it off. I know that's going to anger a few people.
Take the mud flaps off your VL, look shit!
Yeah, I do love this car. I reckon, look, I'm putting the VL for sale as well, and I reckon whichever one sells first, I might even be inclined to keep the other. So it's sort of whatever car sells first. I'm going to do the same video I'm doing now on this, I'm going to do on the VL, even though there's a lot less to explain on that. But how much is the car? Now these have dropped in price. If I wanted to sell this, I probably should have sold it 6 months ago when they were at their height. I'm going to be honest, I'm still going to price this high, just because I don't care if it sells, and I know how good of a car it is, and you won't get another VN in this price range like this. If you want to go buy a $20,000 to $25,000 LS swapped VN, it is going to be nothing like this car. I can absolutely guarantee it. You're going to buy one of those and pump 10 to 15 grand into it to get it to this level, so why not just buy one already done? It's a no-brainer. I'm putting this car up for sale for $37,500. I am a little bit negotiable. I know everyone wants a deal. Obviously, everyone wants to pay as less as they can, whereas I want to sell it as high as I can. So I am happy to meet in the middle, somewhere there for someone. And don't message me saying, 30 grand cash, bro. I don't care how you're paying for it. Whether it's a bank check, whether it's cash, whether it's a bank transfer, whether it's Colombian pesos, whether it's Indian rupees, I don't give a shit how you're paying for it, as long as it's money. It makes no difference to me whether it's cash or not. So that is the price. I know it's high, I am negotiable. Have a whinge, I don't care. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end off this video. I'm getting dizzy again. I'm just blabbering, absolutely blabbering. So if you're genuinely interested in this car, give me a message, we can chat. I don't want any time wasters. Don't waste my time, it's so annoying. Anyway, that's going to be it. I'm going home, it's bloody hot. I need an icy pole, preferably a frosty fruit. I will see you guys next week. Some of you I'm sure I will be talking to after this video. Well, I hope so anyway, because I want someone to buy the damn thing. And I had a lot of silly comments after last video where I was selling the running gear, selling the VL, selling this car, saying, oh, this channel's gonna die, that's it, it's all over, the cars are going, the videos are gonna finish. Obviously, I'm going to replace these cars with other cars. I'm still gonna be doing videos. I'm not selling and doing nothing, like starting knitting or stamp collecting or something like that. Stress less, people. At the end of the day, it's just a car. For this channel to keep going, I can't just keep the same cars. I need to do a car, get rid of it, do something new, do something new, do something new. I can't just keep doing the same car over and over. So it's all part of it. And I love buying and selling cars. The way I see it, I love making a bit of an average car into a really good car, and then passing it on to someone else for them to enjoy it. And it also gives me an opportunity to then explore into other cars. Like, I'm not into one genre. I've had Euros, I've had V8s, I've had manuals, autos, front wheel drive, all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, Aussie, Japanese, everything you can think of, I've dabbled in it. So again, this is just an opportunity for me to move on to something else that I want. I want to experience a lot of different cars. I love owning lots of different cars, and you just got to accept that, and that's the way it's going to be. For the third time in this video, I'm rambling, getting dizzy, I'm getting the hell out of here. Sorry to all the people that it's going to upset me selling this car, but too bad. Peace.